Shalom. This is Abidan from the tribe of Benjamin. I want to say Ka'alayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles who push the sincere truth around the four corners of the earth. What's goody, Israel? Kwam YASHARAHLA. It's your boy, Abidan. Today's lesson is going to be about Ephraim and Judah, right? The northern and southern kingdom. That's what today's lesson is about. Ephraim and Judah, La Familia, right? We're brothers. The northern and southern kingdom. One of my brothers asked me a question the other day about the northern and southern kingdom. So this lesson is going to be about that. Israel was 12 tribes, and then we got divided, right? Into the northern kingdom and into the southern kingdom. All right? And we got split. The kingdoms got split. Solomon was going off. Solomon was the king of all Israel, all 12 tribes. Then Solomon was going off, so the Lord took the northern kingdom away from Solomon, and he created two kingdoms, Israel, the northern kingdom, and Judah, the southern kingdom. All right? So we're going to get right into it. All right. Tribes and kingdoms. Since Ephraim was a specific tribe of Israel, careful contextual analysis should be used when distinguishing the difference in tribal and figurative kingdom identifications within Israel, especially since the prophets used the terms Ephraim, Joseph, and Israel interchangeably, speaking of the same entity, the northern kingdom. All right? Northern kingdom of Israel, the house of Israel, or the house of Joseph, in Zechariah 10 and 16. Judah, likewise, was a name used for both a tribe and kingdom. The tribe of Judah, the kingdom of Judah, the house of Judah, and even the house of David, being a descendant of Judah. All right? So Judah is the southern tribes. Levi, Benjamin, and Judah are all the tribe of Judah, the southern kingdoms, which are considered the Negroes. All right? The Indians and the Native Americans, Indians, and Spanish or Latinos, Latinas, Hispanic would be considered Ephraim, the Spanish tribes, the northern kingdom. All right? And we're going to get right into the scriptures to show you. All right? So the northern kingdom are the Spanish tribes, Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and Native Americans, right? The southern tribes, Judah, which would be considered so-called Negro, which are West Indians, right? Levi, which is the Haitians, Judah, which are the so-called Negroes. So we'll start at 1 Kings chapter 11, and we'll start at the top, so you can get an idea of how Solomon was going off. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. So he had women from all the nations, all right? Solomon had, verse 3, we'll go to verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. All right, that was what Yahweh said to Solomon. Solomon clave unto these in love. So he clave unto these Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, and Zidonians and Hittite women. All right. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. All right. His wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. Okay, so Solomon's going off, following after these other gods. So we'll go down to 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and went not fully after Yahweh, as did his father David. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. All right, we know those abominations. I've showed those in previous videos. Those false gods, Chemosh and Molech. All right, people are still following after them today. The Bohemian Garden, where they're sacrificing and burning sacrifices to Molech to this day. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. So not Yahweh, but their gods, all right? So this is how they went off. This is how Solomon went off. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord Yahweh, the power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing. Concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. So the Lord Yahweh told Solomon twice not to go after strange gods, but he did not follow the Lord's commandments. Wherefore Yahweh said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servants. All right, so he's going to take the kingdom from Solomon and give it to one of Solomon's servants. That means someone, understudy under Solomon's kingdom, because Solomon is above the kingdom. So he's going to take the kingdom away from Solomon and give it to one of Solomon's servants, someone else in the kingdom. All right. Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Okay? Yahweh promised David that he would not take the kingdom away from Solomon for the whole days of his life. So Yahweh told Solomon, because the promise I made with your father, for your father's sake, I will take the kingdom out of your son's hand, not out of your hand. All right? Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son, for David my servant's sake, and for the Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. And the Lord stirred up an adversary. All right? So that's 13. So howbeit I will not rend away all the kingdom. So he's not going to take away all the tribes, but he's going to leave one tribe for thy son David, my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen, which is the tribe of Benjamin. All right, the tribe of Benjamin cleaved on to Judah, which made us one tribe. And the Levites lived within the land of Judah and Jerusalem, and Benjamin and Gilead, and they lived within the land of Benjamin and the land of Judah. So those were the priests. They never got a land. They were within all of the land of Israel. That was one of their blessings, but they lived within Judah and Benjamin. So Levi also became the southern kingdom. All right. So let's go down to verse 28 now. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, Solomon, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. So Solomon made Jeroboam over the house of Joseph, which I just showed you. Joseph is Ephraim, which is the northern kingdom. All right. So now Jeroboam is like charge of the house of Joseph, still under Solomon, but in charge over Joseph. And it came to pass at the time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, that the prophet Ahijah the Shilonite found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him, that was on Jeroboam, and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, take these 10 pieces, for thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. All right, so that's the prophet fulfilling the prophecy of what Yahweh told Solomon. So Jeroboam is the servant of Solomon. He's over the charge of the house of Joseph, which is Ephraim, the northern kingdom. And now the prophet, a prophet of God, Ahijah the Shilonite, rips the garment that Jeroboam's wearing into 12 pieces and gives him 10 pieces and tell him, this is what the Lord told me to tell you. All right. I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. Okay. But he shall have one tribe for my servants David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, because that they have forsaken me, and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways, to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgment, as did David his father. Howbeit, I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will take him prince all the days of his life for David my servant's sake, whom I chose, because he kept my commandments and statutes. All right. So he gave 10 tribes over to Jeroboam, the northern kingdom, right? So we'll keep going down. So David went off, all right? We'll go to 40. So Solomon sought thereof to kill Jeroboam. And Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt. And Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. All right? So Jeroboam, after getting this prophecy from the prophet, took off because Solomon wanted him dead after that. I want him dead, right? Solomon didn't like what he heard. He was like, nah, man, I ain't losing the kingdom to nobody. I'm going to kill him. And Solomon, all right, and the rest of the acts of Solomon and all he did and his wisdom, are they not written in the books of the acts of Solomon? And the time that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel was 40 years. So Solomon reigned over all Jerusalem, all of Israel, for 40 years. And Solomon slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David, his father, and Rehoboam, his son, reigned in his stead. Okay, so now we got Rehoboam and we got Jeroboam. Okay, Solomon is now passed away. But the prophet already said this was going to happen, and Yahweh told Solomon himself that he was going to take the kingdom away from his son. Right? 1 Kings chapter 12. And Rehoboam went to Shishim, for all Israel were come to Shishim to make him king. So now Rehoboam is made king, right? All right. That they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam. All right. So now Rehoboam is made king, and the Jeroboam, he's over all of the northern kingdom. So they come up to him and they're like, yo, thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. So Jeroboam came to Rehoboam and tells him, So Solomon made Jeroboam charge over the Israel, right? And then the prophet tells him, the northern tribe belongs to you now, Jeroboam. So Jeroboam comes up to Rehoboam with all of Israel and tells him, yo, your father Solomon was hard on us. He had us working hard, building all the temples, just building everything, working hard. Can you please lighten up the work on us, make it easier on us, and we will serve thee. All right. I'm not going to read all of that part because that's going to make the video long. But basically, Jeroboam asked Rehoboam to make the work lighter upon all the congregation, and we're going to serve you. And Rehoboam decided not to do that, okay? So Rehoboam basically came back and said he's going to make them work harder than the father did, twice as hard. So we'll go to verse 16 now. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered, which is Israel and Jeroboam, the king, saying, what portion have we in David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel, which dwelt in the cities of Judah, and Rehoboam reigned over them. All right. So then King Rehoboam, which is the king of under Solomon, right? He's supposed to be the king of all Israel, but he's losing his grip now on the northern kingdom because they just rebelled against him. He didn't want to hearken unto what they asked, so the people said, we don't have no portion of the kingdom. We're not part of Jesse's blessing. And David, O Israel, so they bounced. Then King Jeroboam sent Adoram, all right? He sent a messenger who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones that he died. Therefore, King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So he sent a messenger down to speak to the people of Israel, and they stoned the messenger, right? So Israel rebelled against the house of David until this day. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. All right. So now they make Jeroboam king over all of Israel, the northern kingdom. That's the split right there. All right, Akim? All right, all you new Israelites coming into the truth. This is about Ephraim and Judah splitting. All right, so now Jeroboam, is the northern king of the northern kingdom of Israel, which are the Native Americans, all right, Indians, Israel. And then we got Rehoboam, who's over the southern kingdom. Okay? So Ephraim could be interchangeable. Ephraim, Joseph, and Israel is the northern kingdom of Israel, the house of Israel, house of Joseph. Okay? Judah, likewise, was a name used for both the tribe of Judah, the kingdom of Judah, the house of Judah, and even house of David, King David being a descendant of Judah. So that's the split of the tribes, okay? That's the split of the tribes right there. So we got Rehoboam, all right? The first king of Judah was the first king of kingdom of Judah. He was a son of the successor to Solomon and a grandson of David. In the account of First Kings and Second Chronicles, he was initially king of the united monarchy of Israel, but after the 10 northern tribes of Israel rebelled in 932 or 931, around that time BC, to form the independent northern kingdom of Israel under the rule of Jeroboam. Rehoboam remained as king only of the kingdom of Judah, or southern kingdom. Okay? There you have it. I'll press Jeroboam and get a little bit of him. Okay? Was the first king of the northern kingdom of Israel. Alright? Hebrew Bible describes reign of Rehoboam to have commenced following a revolt of the 10 northern Israel tribes against Rehoboam. Okay? So I just showed you when they revolted because he didn't want to make their work easier. So now let's go back to the scriptures. All right, let's go to Hosea. Because Yahweh is going to bring us back together. The brothers, right? The family. All 12 tribes, we're going to come back together. So we'll go Hosea chapter 1. We'll start at verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power, Yahweh. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. All right? So, in that place that it was said to them, Ye are not my people, what place is that? Right? That's the Great West, the Americas. Well, that's where we lost who we are. We started to call ourselves, we were lost in remembrance. Let's go to that real quick. Psalms 83. And right around here, we'll start at 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So we forgot who we are, you know. The Edomites and Esau made sure we forgot who we are, and all the nations all came together against Israel. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagrians. Gabal and Ammon and Amalek and Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. So they're all against us. They're all confederate against thee. Who? Israel. They have taken crafty counsel against the hidden ones, the children of Israel. Okay? So now let's go to Baruch. We'll go Baruch chapter 2, and we'll start at 30. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. That's the Israelites, right? But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves, and I shall know. Right? They shall remember themselves. So in the land of their captivity, the Israelites are going to remember themselves. We're going to remember that we're the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? We're the 12 tribes of Israel. We're going to remember ourselves in the land of our captivity. So here you go. 12 tribes of Israel. All right? Judah, so-called Negroes. Benjamin, so-called West Indians. Levi, so-called Haitians. Southern kingdom, you see? Southern kingdom. The top three, that's the southern kingdom. Then the northern kingdom. Simeon, Dominicans. Zebulon, Guatemalans to Panamanians. Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, Cubans. Gad, Northern Kingdom, North American Indians. Reuben, Seminole Indians. Naphtali, the Argentinians to Chileans, so Southern America, all South America. Asher, Colombians to Uruguay. Issachar, Mexicans. All right? These are the 10 tribes that were under Jeroboam. Okay? The Dominicans, Guatemalans, the Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, Argentinians, which is all South America, Colombians to Uruguay, and the Mexicans. Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, Reuben, Gad, Manasseh, Ephraim, Zebulon, Simeon, Simeon. That's the 10 tribes. See, Northern Kingdom. It has it bracketed out and separated for you so you can see. Then the Southern Kingdom, which is under Rehoboam, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Southern Kingdom. Negroes, West Indians, and the Haitians. The 12 tribes of Israel are going to come together again. They're going to remember themselves in the land of their captivity. Like it said in Baruch. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they were not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. Remember that we are the Hebrew Israelites, the 12 tribes of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And Jacob's name was changed to Israel by Yahweh. Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, and shall know that I am Yahweh their power. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear. So he's going to let us, our spirit, hear him again, our ears and our heart. We're going to hear the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. It's going to wake us back up. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. For they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. Who's our fathers? Solomon. We remember how he sinned before Yahweh, and how he went off, and we all went off, and we followed after wicked deeds. So he took away our remembrance of him. He threw us away. He gave us to the wolves. He gave us to the evil, right? The Edomites and the Ammonites and the Canaanites and the Ishmaelites, right? And the Amalek. He gave us away to them. Okay, so now let's go. Let's see, we'll do Assyrian real quick. All right, this is the Assyrian captivity. Biblical account, okay, of the Assyrian captivity. And Yahweh, the power of Israel, stirred up the spirit, right, of Pul, king of Assyrian, and the spirit of Tilgath-Pilneser, king of Assyria, and he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Halah and Habor and Harah, and to the river Gozan unto this day. All right. In the days of Pekah, king of Israel, right, king of Assyria, and he, let me see, all these names, right? Gilead and the land of Naphtali carried away them captive to Assyria. All right. Gilead, Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and carried them captive to Assyria. 722 BCE, 10 to 20 years after the initial deportations, the ruling city of the northern kingdom of Israel, Samaria, was finally taken by Sargon II after a 3-year siege. All right, we'll go here. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in harbor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 3 through 6. And the king of Assyria did carry away Israel unto Assyria, and put them in Halah and in Habar by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes, because they obeyed not the voice of Yahweh their power, but transgressed his covenant, and all that Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded, and would not hear them nor do them, because we were stiff-necked people and we went off. So Assyria did carry away Israel unto Assyria. Okay? Babylonian captivity, real quick. Babylonian captivity, Babylonian exile, is the period of history during which a number of people from the ancient kingdom of Judah were captives in Babylon, the capital of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, after the battle of the Carchemish in 605 BCE. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon besieged Jerusalem, resulting in tribute being paid by King Joachim. All right. So that's the southern kingdom being sieged by King Nebuchadnezzar in 605 BCE. All right. The siege of Jerusalem. So that's the southern kingdom. All right. The northern kingdom had already got sieged by Assyria. After they got out of Assyrian captivity, the northern kingdoms crossed over to the western part of the world, and that is the Americas, North and South America, okay? North and South America. So I just pull up the calendar so you can see BCE and ADE and AD, right? Before Common Era, Common Era. Before Present, before AD 1950, okay? Before Christ. Israel and Judah. According to the Bible, King David reigned over a large territory and his son Solomon over an even larger one. After the death of King Solomon, the kingdom was divided in two. The southern kingdom consisted of only the tribes of Judah and Benjamin and Levi, we know, and thus became the kingdom of Judah, with Jerusalem as its capital. The northern kingdom consisted of the remaining tribes and was called Israel. All right? So that's the split of the northern and southern kingdom. So we're going to end it on Ezekiel 37 because we're going to come back together. We're brothers, right? That's what it's all about. The tribes coming back together. Go Ezekiel 37 and 16. Ezekiel 37:16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. His companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest? Say it unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, the 10 tribes, right? His fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. All right? Take one stick, right? For all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one together. For Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. So you're taking all the tribes and putting them back together, the 12 tribes of Israel. That is the stick. The 12 tribes of Israel. Take one stick, Judah, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and the other stick, Ephraim, Joseph, which are the 10 other tribes, the northern kingdoms, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar, and make them one stick together. Okay? And make them one stick together. So that's the prophecy. Ephraim and Judah will be back together. We're brothers. All right? We will be back together. And that's what this is about. The 12 tribes coming back together. One stick. Ephraim, Judah, coming back together to make Israel. Just like the prophecy was spoken of. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. Hope this was edifying.